a lot of my clients, people that I train, the kids that I train, call me Coach Drew. Right, so I go by Coach Drew. What I do specifically, I am not only an entrepreneur, I am a strength and conditioning, fitness, I'm a strength and conditioning coach, right, for middle school basketball players, for high school basketball players, for college basketball players, and eventually what I want to do is be a strength and conditioning coach for that NBA basketball player. So that is a little bit about me, a little bit about One Shot Basketball Academy. We're located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. All right. However, I do not want to make this about One Shot Basketball Academy. You guys are here because you want to learn what you can get from me. That's why you're here. And I feel like I'm like you guys. All right, I'm not too much older than you, really. 29. I would say there's really nothing special about me, to be honest. I'm really just like you, right? Grew up Fort Lauderdale, loved playing basketball when I was younger, and pretty much made that into a passion with One Shot Basketball Academy. Now, what I want you guys to really understand when I'm saying it's, I'm just like you specifically, is this thing that you're about to embark on is hard. It's challenging, right? You guys see me, right? You're like, dang, what the heck is he doing? He's at a entrepreneur CEO club and he's not dressed up like an entrepreneur at all. That's not who I am. If I were to come in here and have a business attire on, that would kind of make me a little fake. I don't wear that stuff. I wear a shirt, I wear shorts, I wear cool basketball shoes. That's what I do. That's who I am. Really, that's who I am. Now, do I want to be that entrepreneur later on in life that is very successful? Heck yeah. Making millions of dollars? Heck yeah. That's what I want to do. But I'm just like you in the standpoint, I'm not there yet. And I'm going to be completely honest. Harsh reality. I want to be completely honest with you guys so we can relate. I still live at home. I'm 29 years old. I still live at home. I got to pay rent for my facility that costs a lot of money. This is what you guys are going to get into. I'm being dead honest with you. This is what you're getting into. Understand, business, when you go into business, the first 3 years, it's hard. You're not making a lot of money, especially if you're creating your own company. You're not making a lot of money. Believe me, my dad, when we were on our way over here, was like, yo, you should be wearing something better. I was like, Dad, no, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. I don't make tons of money right now. All right, but I think that is how you guys are going to relate to me a little bit more. I'm just like you guys. There's really nothing special about me, but with that being said, you guys can do it. With whatever you guys are doing right now, give you some motivation, you guys can do it. I'm telling you, I'm nothing special. There's a lot of special people in this group that could be creating something that's pretty awesome. All right. So a little bit more about who I am. I went to Florida Gulf Coast University from 2009 to 2013. Was the basketball manager for 2 years, and I loved playing basketball. That's who I was. I loved playing basketball when I was a kid. I also did other things. I was kind of creative. I liked art. I think that's where I get a lot of my ideas from right now. But I loved playing basketball. All right. Played 3 years of varsity basketball at high school. And then I came to FGCU, was a basketball manager here for 2 years. And then after that, I was just like, all right, I really got to focus on my major. My major here was exercise science. Some of you maybe know what that is. Basically, it's like, fitness training and learning the body, anatomy, all that kind of stuff. So I graduated in 2013. Dunk City came about my last semester. I was not even on campus during that time. I was doing an internship, so that kind of stunk. But the cool thing about it was They got to the Sweet 16. They ended up playing. Who they play? You guys remember? Florida, right? So they played Florida, and they went to Texas. So they played at Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Texas, and I was doing my internship in Texas at the time. So I went and saw that game, which was pretty cool. It was pretty unbelievable to watch. I mean, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan as well, so seeing your favorite basketball team play at your favorite football team's gigantic stadium was pretty cool. All right, so fast forward, after I graduated from Florida Gulf Coast, I entered into my profession. I was a volunteer. I volunteered at a performance facility for about 8 months. Free work, just trying to get my foot in the door. Ended up getting hired on at this facility. Worked their most popular time, which is called NFL Draft Combine Prep. They hired me on. I was working probably 60 hours a week during that time, and they liked me pretty much. But after that, they cut my hours down because things came slow. I needed to find another job. I ended up finding another job too, and where I was at for the next 2 years was called Fit Speed Athletic Performance, which is another athletic performance facility. I was there for 2 years. After 1 year, I was the head strength and conditioning coach for them. And about a year and a half in, so 18 months in, I started to, get some thoughts. Like, why are there no basketball players in here training? I love training football players. I can do all that. That's fun. That's cool. But that wasn't my passion. Why are there no basketball players in here training? And it got me thinking, why not I create something? Why don't I create a little business out of this? So, I was hearing things, I was listening to podcasts, I was reading books, and at the time, I just felt like something was pulling at me to really look into that more. Where's that middle ground? Why is there no basketball players in here training? I can relate to those guys a lot better than I can relate to football players. So, fast forward 6 months, I decided to take that big leap. And I opened up One Shot Basketball Academy. Now, for the first 18 months, I was working out of somebody's gym. I was renting their gym, paying them rent, stuff like that. After 18 months, I opened up my own facility. It's been going now for 2 years. People know who One Shot Basketball Academy is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in Broward County, in Miami, in West Palm Beach. I've got a big following of high school kids. I am a strength and conditioning coach for the local junior college. And I pretty much, I have solid ground on a lot of areas in Fort Lauderdale. So that's kind of like a little bit about me, where I'm at. Like I told you guys, I still haven't figured it all out. And it's still very tough. Believe me, I told you, I don't have any of this figured out yet. But I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. And I'm excited to be here because this was a goal that I set, to be honest. This is my first one. But I wrote this down. And you guys have to write stuff down. You have to write goals down. Because once it gets on paper, that's when it really starts coming into play. That's when you really start seeing it. You got to see it. You got to see it to believe it. I'm telling you, see it, write it down. You'll be good. Chase after it. I wrote it down. It's my first one, but it's not my last one. I hope to get, and I know I'm going to get bigger and better things from here. But you guys got to understand, practice. This is practice for me. This is my practice right here. So I learned from this, and I keep moving. What I do bad, what can I improve upon? Now we just go from there. All right. So that's a little bit about Coach Drew. I want to talk. Let's get into the presentation here. Oh, you guys already saw it, but it's all right. Entrepreneurs. That's what we are. All right, we're entrepreneurs. I have a definition for you. You guys just saw it. What would you guys say an entrepreneur is? You didn't see my thing. Go ahead.
Entrepreneurs are people with creativity, ones that have a passion and do what they love doing.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Anything else?
Problem solvers.
Problem solvers. Love it.
Turn your passion into your business.
Turn your passion into your business. That's what I did. Yes, ma'am.
They're weird, they're crazy people.
There were, oh man, you're gonna hear that a lot. You're gonna hear that a lot. You're crazy. What are you doing? What are you thinking? But when they start calling you crazy, that's when you know you're onto something. Hear that? They start calling you crazy. When they start thinking you're crazy, that's when you're onto something. You want them to question you, what you're doing. All right. My definition of an entrepreneur is we are world changers. We are world changers. We have ideas that people think we're crazy about, but those crazy ideas have created Walt Disney World. They've created Starbucks. They've created Apple. They've created Microsoft, Lululemon, whatever, right? Those are world changers. Those are companies that you see now that are at the peak, right? World changing companies, that's what you are. I mean, we don't have to have any fancy jargon for entrepreneur. We're creators, we're innovators, we're constant thinkers, we're constant creators. That's what we are. We're getting paid, we get paid because we have some good ideas. All right, I can come up with some good ideas. I mean, I think the name of One Shot Basketball Academy, One Shot, is probably the most creative idea. And you might think I'm crazy, but I think it's pretty awesome. You know, but you gotta, if you, with all your heart, you gotta believe. You know, you gotta believe in your product. And I want to talk about that. So, I mean, I believe in One Shot. I believe it's gonna take off. And we are creators, guys. We are world changers. All right? Believe that. Believe that. So I want to talk about 3 things today. 3 things that you guys can take with you. I would say write them down. Write them in your notes on your phone. Because these are 3 things that I think you guys need to be successful as entrepreneurs. And they're very basic. They're very simple. But they will help you a lot. And you need them. All right? I call them the big 3. The big 3. We got Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh up there. I'm a Miami Heat guy. My basketball team. You know. But these are the big 3. All right, so write them down. Let's get into it. All right. First one. Numero uno. All right. Is you gotta have faith. First and foremost, you have to have faith. What is faith? Everybody say faith.
Faith.
Everybody say faith.
Faith.
Oh, now we're talking. All right. Faith in yourself. You are crazy. People are going to call you crazy. People are going to call you stupid. People are going to call you dumb. But you got to have faith and belief in yourself that this is going to work. Nobody can have faith for you. Really. This is all on you guys. You have to have an undeniable faith in yourself. There will be haters everywhere. There will be people, like I said, telling you that you can't do it. And you will encounter fear. There will be times where, with me specifically, why is my business going so slow? Why are nobody coming in? Why is nobody training right now? All this stuff runs through my head. And if I let it resonate with me, let it resonate up here, it's going to take over. This is where it all goes down right here. It'll start playing games with you, mental games. And once you let it take a hold of you, once you say, all right, I'm just going to I'm just go back to doing my I'm gonna go back to 9 to 5 job. You know, can't let that be a factor. You have to be stronger, and it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of resilience. And it is tough, because you are gonna have a lot more bad times than you have good times. And that's facts. That's facts right there. All right, so you have to have this undeniable faith in yourself, right? You also have to have an undeniable faith in your product. You have to have an undeniable faith in what you are selling to people. What am I selling? I'm selling confidence, really. That's what I'm selling. Can't buy that. I'm going to make you a better basketball player. How do I know that? Because I've trained a bunch of people. I know my product works. I've got about 100 reviews on Google from people that say my product works, 5-star reviews all over that stuff. I know I can get you bigger, faster, stronger, jumping higher, increasing your vertical jump. I know that without a fact. That when you come to One Shot Basketball Academy, you're going to get better. You're going to see confidence in your game. You're going to be playing more confident. You're going to be playing and shooting the ball better. You're going to be dribbling the ball better. You're going to be moving better. I have that belief in my product. I know because it's worked and people have told me it works. Now I have to sell that. Again, I got to continue to sell that and market that to people. That's a constant thing that you got to do, right? But you have to have an undeniable faith, not only in yourself and in your beliefs, and also in your product. Everybody get that? All right, everybody say faith.
Faith.
Everybody say faith.
Faith.
Everybody say faith.
Faith.
There we go. I like it. All right, here we go. Number 2. So we got faith for number 1. Here's number 2 out of the big 3. We're going a niche. You got to have a niche. Somebody answer that. What's a niche? Go ahead, Rachel. Is that your name?
She's a biology major.
Biology? That's all right.
It's like your unique skill or trait.
Okay.
What makes you special?
Good. Perfect.
Your unique
I was gonna say like a specific market.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that's perfect. Same thing. Same thing. All right. Yeah, that's you guys are right on. You guys are right on point. Basically, boom. What separates you from everyone else? Everybody get that? What separates your company from everybody else? All right. You guys cannot be the same as Apple. You can't be the same as these other companies. You got to find a white space, and then you got to break from there. Pretty much. You got to spread your wings. In that white space, what am I, right? I'm a basketball academy. But there are a lot of performance facilities. So what I specialize in, I'm a performance facility, training athletes specifically. So when I opened One Shot Basketball Academy, right, I could have been One Shot Academy and catered to every sport, football, baseball, basketball. I could have trained all of them. It's the same thing. But because I added the word basketball in it, now I automatically separate myself from everybody else, and I say, this is my audience, this is my niche, and this is all I want to come into my academy. Does everybody get that? Pretty crispy, clear? Go ahead.
Yeah, when you were just kind of coming up with your business model, what went through your head in terms of like competitors? Are there any just basketball?
No, there were no basketball. There were no basketball academies really in my space. There, like I was saying, there's kind of performance facilities. There were there's a bunch of performance facilities around there. Like Fort Lauderdale, Miami is the hotbed for when athletes want to come down during the summer. they come down to Fort Lauderdale, they come down to Miami to train, you know, obviously because it's a nice place. So, you know, I looked into it. There was nothing. Now there's basketball skills trainings, which I can do. Skills training is like shooting, dribbling, defense, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I had coached basketball as 2 years as a varsity head coach, 2 years as a 2 years as a junior varsity head coach, 2 years as a varsity assistant coach. I can teach the game. I know the game very well. You know, I know the game inside and out. I can teach your skills. But again, I need to separate myself. And so labeling myself as a basketball performance guy, that's how I want people to know me. I don't want them to know me as a skills trainer. I want them to see One Shot Basketball Academy's page as being strength and conditioning specific. So when anybody has needs, they need their kid to get bigger, faster, stronger, who are they going to look for first? They're going to look for One Shot Basketball Academy. Does everybody see that? And I've done that the past 3 years to kind of market myself as that specific guy, as a strength and conditioning basketball performance facility in our area. All right? So you got to have a niche. You got to have a niche. You got to have a certain avatar that you guys are going after. What's an avatar? So who am I trying to attract? Right? That's my avatar. Who am I trying to attract? Okay, I'm trying to attract. There's two types of people I'm trying to attract, really. I'm trying to attract, obviously, the basketball player, so the elementary school player, the middle school basketball player, high school basketball player, the college player, the professional player. So all that, all my content, on my social media, is kind of geared towards that. But they don't pay the bills. Right? Let's be honest. Kids aren't handing you $500 for your training. Who's paying the bills? The parents. Right? And that's where I kind of need to get better, I'll be honest. Because I've been trying to hit the kids so much in my marketing, in my training, that I need to now focus and shift the attention more towards getting the parents. And there's a social media slide on here. We're going to talk about that quite a bit. Because you guys need to be engaged with social media and everything that's happening on there. Okay. So what was number one?
You gotta have faith.
Faith. Number two. All right, so we got our niche. All right. And number three, and you can't have one without the other here. You got to have faith. You got to have that burning desire, number one. That's going to open up your business. That's going to start everything. Number two, you're going to have your niche, what separates you from everybody else. Number three, you got to have the ability to build and maintain relationships. Build a relationship and maintain a relationship. That's super duper important. Very important. And again, faith, niche, ability to build and maintain relationships. All right? Now let's talk about how we do that. How do we build and maintain relationships? Brand development. Okay, you guys will see some of the pictures on here. This right here is my favorite motivational speaker. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. If you haven't, I actually learned about him at FGCU from the strength and conditioning coach here. His name's Eric Krause. That's Eric Thomas up there. He's the #1 motivational speaker in the world. Look him up. If you guys need some motivation, he will pump you up. He's got a bunch of videos on there. It's pretty awesome. But brand development, okay? He says a couple things. There's a couple things that's pointed right there. See brand energy? That's part of your brand, your energy. The energy that you create, your positive vibes. People want to be around that kind of energy, right? People like being around that. People hire that. The energy that you bring, the positivity that you bring. People relate to that. They don't want somebody that's going to be down, negative, any of that stuff. Bring a positive energy, positive aura, every time, right? Got a brand hat. I don't got a hat. I got a man bun but it's cool. I mean, you know, this is kind of, people pick me out of the crowd with this thing. It's pretty crazy. So, you know, you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Just run with it, you know. Brand shirt. Got my shirt. I got my pants. All right, my colors are South Beach colors. I wanted my colors to represent Fort Lauderdale, where I'm from, Miami. Right? I needed everything to represent that feel. Right? So that's why I'm talking to you guys in this. This is who I am. This is what I do. Right? And then you have your logo. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about One Shot Basketball Academy. Let's talk about the logo. Okay. One Shot Basketball Academy. How did it come about? Right? When you guys are creating a business name, please put some thought into it. I tell you that with all seriousness. You know, you want people to go around and, you know, I think the biggest honor is for somebody to go around and rep your shirt. You know, like somebody that you don't know, like you come up and you don't know that person over there and they're rocking your shirt, yo, that feels pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty cool. I don't know who you are, but you're rocking my stuff. I'll go meet you right now and I'll go shake your hand. You know, that's pretty awesome. You know, so when I created One Shot Basketball Academy, I didn't want it to be Andrew Roberti Fitness. What does that tell you right off the plate? That's just about me. One Shot Basketball Academy is about a family. Right? I gotta have a team. You can't do this by yourself. You gotta have a team of people. Gotta have a team that will basically represent your brand to the fullest, baby. To the fullest. Right? You cannot do this thing. You cannot do this by yourself. It takes a team. Right? So I got one of my guys at Broward College. He's repping one of our sweaters here. Right? That's One Shot right there. Okay? And One Shot Basketball Academy is, again, we go back to it. How did it all come about? It took me 2 months, 2.5, 3 months, really, to find out what I really wanted with One Shot Basketball. I didn't know a name, but I was writing stuff down. I was like, all right, I want 2 words to connect that are basketball related and that will, you know, say something that's really bigger than basketball. And so, like, I was writing stuff down, writing stuff on paper. Nothing was connecting, writing stuff on my notepad. It was always on the top of my brain. And I don't know, I was going to Einstein's Bagels one day and, you know, basically, you like put my headphones in and the Eminem song comes on and you only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow this opportunity. And I hear that, I'm like, that's pretty good. I like that. I was like, I like that. I like that. And I was like, one shot, one shot, one shot, one shot, one. Let me switch that O-N-E to W-O-N, right? Because we're trying to win. You're trying to win in basketball. I don't know about you. Trying to win. Trying to win in life. Shot is a basketball term. One shot, you hear that term a lot in basketball. At the end of a quarter, then at a half, your coach is screaming, let's get one shot. So it's basketball related right there. And then the bigger picture of it all, you only get one shot at life. You know, sometimes you only get one shot for an interview. Sometimes you only get one shot with that girl. Sometimes you only get one shot when you're a basketball player in front of that scout, in front of that team. Sometimes you only have one opportunity, one moment, one shot. You gotta make it count. Gotta make your one shot count. So it's bigger than just a name, right? It's bigger than just one shot. It's One Shot Basketball Academy. and encompasses so much more. And that's what I market towards with everything. All right? I have a song on iTunes. I had a friend of mine who's a rapper come up with a song. That's got like 5,000-6,000 views on YouTube. I mean, I think that's pretty good. It's called One Shot. It's a motivational song. Look it up.
What's
I think
his
it's
name?
called One Shot.
What's his name?
His name's K Rich. K Rich. Yeah, you can look it up. I mean, I think it sounds pretty awesome. Bump it in your car. All right. And then this is right here a project that I'm working on. I worked on it last year, but it's even bigger now. It's blowing up. It's called One Shot You. Who's seen Last Chance You on Netflix? All right, that's about a junior college football team. I flipped it. This is about a junior college basketball team. And it's got my name in it. So whenever you say this, whenever it pops off and becomes popular, what are you saying every time? Come on, what are you saying? Saying one shot. You're saying one shot. In this song, you're saying one shot a lot. So what am I drilling in your head? I'm drilling in one shot. Who are you going to come to for basketball training? That's it. Look, it's branding. I've just done it. Pretty cool, right? So, yes, sir.
Coach, you in that song?
I'm in it at the end. I don't drop a beat. I don't hop on and drop like any lyrics. But I'm in there at the end. We can turn it up if you want. At the end. But yeah, I got like a little motivational 10-second part where it's like I'm in front of the team and I'm trying to pump them up before a game, type thing. So that's brand development there. Now let's go into a couple more. I'm almost done here. A couple more things on brand development. You got 4 areas here. Very important, very, very important. Especially when you have a new business. Especially when you have a new business. Okay? Number 1, it says do things for free. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. I'm not getting paid. I know. I still do things for free. But if it helps my business grow, I got to do it. Nobody else. Nobody else is going to be in charge of that. Who's in charge? I'm the guy. Believe me, you see products being given away for free all the time. Right? Free samples of food. Here, free sample. Right? At the malls, right? Right? They're giving away free supplements and stuff like that. Right? Because what? Just a little taste. That's all they want. Just want a little taste. But if you can hit them with that little taste, you can get in their ear. You can get them to follow you on social media. You can get them to constantly see what you're doing. Now they want to become a client. And that's when you hook them and grab them. You pull them in. Right? So you're doing things for free. I know it stinks. But it's part of what you guys got to do. It's part of what I have to do. I'm going to continue doing it. Obviously, I make offers sometimes, but the population, the avatar that I'm trying to hit, high schools, college kids, don't have money. You guys know. You don't really have too much money, right? High school basketball players, these kids aren't the richest kids. High school basketball teams, public school teams, they don't have a lot of funds. But am I going to turn down an opportunity to be in front of 15 or 20 kids, that could possibly become a client for 1 hour a week? Like if I'm going out there for 1 hour a week, I'm in front of 20 kids and I'm not doing anything, why not? That's how I look at it. Like why not? That's only going to help me. Because now I build a relationship with the kids, they know who I am, maybe I feature them on social media, they like how I'm featuring them, and they repost it, their friends see it, boom, then they get curious, they start seeing it, it's just like a trickle-down effect. Everybody get that? Alright, so let's do things for free. Don't think you're too good to do things for free. Diversity. Try new things. Volunteer. Alright, so volunteering for things. trying new things. Some of you guys are maybe new in this class or whatever. You're trying something new. What's it all about? Go out. When you're a business person, especially like me, I'm not surrounded by a whole lot of people, to be honest. I have a small 800 square foot gym, and I'm, the only one that works in there. So it can be lonely. You're by yourself. So I need to surround myself with big groups, right? To get, kind of like a social life. So go join like a gym. Go join a guitar class or a dance class or whatever. Try new things. But you're trying these things to 3, get amongst big groups. Because once you get amongst those big groups, you're amongst a lot of people and you start talking and you start networking. You don't even know you're doing it, but you're doing it. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that I've done volunteer-wise. That I've done for free. I've went amongst groups. I started talking to people. Hey, I work on websites. Right? Hey, I'll train you if you can help me with my website. Right? So you never know who's in those groups that can help you. You never know. Those big groups, you find 1 or 2 people, they like what you're doing, they see your stuff, they want to help you out. Get amongst those big groups, all right? And that'll lead me into 4, which would be barter. Does anybody know what bartering is? Oh, we don't know what barter. Ooh. Trading, yeah.
Trading, needing different services or goods rather than money.
Okay, basically, exactly, that's what it is. So basically, I'm trading my service for your service. So you do websites, I do personal training. I'll trade you for free. I'll train you for free. You give me some website design. Right? So instead of paying, we're just trading services. Nobody's paying for each other. Now we're just helping each other out. Right? He's getting something in return. He's getting the personal training. He's working on his fitness. He's told his wife, like, I need to go to the gym and stuff like that, but I don't have any motivation. So then he was talking to me, and boom, I lit it up with him. And on the back end, now in return, now he's going to give me his services, which is the website design. Believe me, that's happened. I have somebody that's working on my website that I met probably 18 months ago. And he just keeps up my website, and we trade services like that. I have an accountant whose daughter I've trained for the past 4 years. She's a soccer player. She's only like other non-basketball player that I trained. But I knew the father, who was a basketball coach. I know him very well. His daughter just finished high school at the time. She was going to play college soccer, and she was like, I want to do training. And, if you train my daughter, my wife can help you out with all your accounting stuff. Having an accountant, it's a lot of money. It's not cheap. It's not fun either, counting all your taxes and all that stuff. That's not fun. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't like any of that stuff. So here, you can freely, I'll train your daughter 3-4 times a week, whatever. So barter. Do things for free. Diversity. Try new things. Volunteer. Right? Get amongst big groups and barter. Save yourself some money. Right? Last thing, to build and maintain relationships. Last thing is social media. You all have it in your hands. The power in your hands right now. There's a lot of power right in your hands. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. My newest and favorite, TikTok. Yes, I'm on there. I think it's friggin' hilarious. I love it. So make sure you guys are on there. You can brand. And the greatest thing is it's free. Right? It's free. Now, obviously, you can pay for ads. You can do all that stuff. But it's free. You present your company on there. For me, I show what I'm doing with my training. But understand too that all these platforms are different, right? They're different. People don't want to go to Instagram and see the exact same thing on Instagram that they would see on Facebook. My market on Facebook is parents. My market on Instagram is kids. My market on TikTok is like middle school kids, elementary school kids. My market on Twitter is coaches. So now on all of my marketing pieces, it's got to be to those specific avatars, to those specific groups. And it takes a lot of time. Social media is a full-time job in itself. It takes work. But you have to get it done. You have to get it done if you want to see your business to grow, because that's where all the eyes are now. That's where everybody's at. Right? So if you have an influencer, if you have somebody that you like, that you follow, whatever, comment on their stuff. Like their stuff. Constantly like their stuff. Right? Try to build a relationship with them. Here's one awesome story that got me in the door with Dwayne Wade. Does anybody know who Dwayne Wade is? And I hope you guys know who Dwayne Wade is. Best, Heat legend, best Miami player, Miami sports figure ever. Okay? Basically, Dwayne Wade 2 years ago got traded to the Chicago Bulls. Okay? He posted something on his social media. He said, "Hey guys, I'm having a summer camp over here in Chicago. Here is our page. Everybody go follow our new page that we created for the camp." I clicked on the page, and I noticed there's only 300 people that have followed it so far. So I was like, oh man, let me jump on this. Slid right in the DM. Slid right in. I said, hey, I'd love to be a part of this camp. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll come out there for free. I'll fly over for free. I just want to be a part. What happens?
He hits you back.
He doesn't hit me back. No, I don't get an answer. And that was during the summer of 2017. 2018 comes around. Sitting in my room, hanging out. It's like 11, 12 o'clock. I get a call from the director of the camp saying, hey, we remember you hitting us up. We're going to have our camp in Miami this year because Dwayne Wade just got traded. Just got traded back to Miami. We're trying to find a gym where we can have it. Do you know of any spots? I said, I can look around. Of course. What they were looking for was like 40-something gyms, 40-something rims in like a specific location. Chicago's crazy. They're basketball crazy over there. And they have that in schools, which is nuts. So she told me that. I was like, you're not going to find that over here in Florida. You might find like 12 rims or something like that at the most. She's like, all right, we're going to continue looking around, see what we can do. We're going to hit you back up. And if we have this camp, we definitely want you to be a part. Probably fast forward 2 months later, get a call back from her saying, hey, the camp's not going to be as big this year. You're only going to have like 150 kids as opposed to like 400 kids that they normally have. It's going to be 150 kids, but we'd love you to be a part of it. She's like, would you like to be? I was like, Dwayne Wade? Are you kidding me? That's the basketball player that I idolized growing up. That's my favorite basketball player ever. Heck no, you don't even got to pay me. For real. You know what I'm saying? So I got in the door. And basically, when you're in the door, now you just got to build those relationships. You got to do a good job. So I went as hard as I can that first year. Right? I did everything I possibly could that first year to have them call me back. And guess what? This past year, they wanted me back. Year 2. 2 years in a row at Dwayne Wade's basketball camp. Wish I had the picture in the video to show you guys. Taking pictures with Dwayne Wade. It's pretty awesome. Hanging out with a legend. Pretty cool. You know? And this time, after the second one, I didn't have to wait. Right when I was leaving, she's like, "Are you gonna be back next year?" I said, "Heck yeah." I said, "Better pay me though." No, I'm just for real. No. But now I'm in. I'm in with Dwayne Wade. I'm in with his people. That's some good stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? That's some good stuff. You got some connections right there. Dwayne Wade, he's a big time, he's not playing anymore, but he's a big time entrepreneur. He's doing things. He knows LeBron James. LeBron James is doing things. So let's go over this again, because we're about finished here. What was number 1?
Faith.
Beautiful. Faith. 2.
Niche.
Yeah, niche, whatever, they're the same thing. And number 3.
Relationships.
Beautiful. You have the ability to build and maintain relationships. All right. So that's pretty much it. For the most part, I just want to, go over a couple businesses that I love. Businesses, podcasts, books. Give you guys some information that you guys can take home with you if you want to look into some stuff. Because these are the businesses that I emulate. I've already kind of said them already. Disney. I love Disney. Love what they're doing. It's crazy just how far they've come. I'll mention a book to you guys here. Disney, Lululemon, Apple, trying to build empires out here. That's what I'm trying to do. So this is where it all starts. So Apple, Disney, all that good stuff. Those are a couple businesses right there. Entrepreneurs. Some entrepreneurs that I like that I try to learn from. Obviously, for basketball related stuff, you got Dwayne Wade, you got LeBron James. Those are big time basketball entrepreneurs right there. I mean, movie stars, they're everywhere now. LeBron's doing everything. So who's heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary V. All right, if you haven't heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, write him down right now. Write him down.
I
You
just
need
saw his last name.
Vaynerchuk is V-A. You'll know who it is. He's like the king. He's like the king of social media there. You need to know about Gary V. YouTube, his YouTube stuff, Instagram stuff, all that. All right, financial stuff. We're in college here. Maybe some of us have student loans. That's all right. But when you get out of school, they're still gonna be with you. Dave Ramsey. Look up Dave Ramsey. Financial stuff. You guys need it. I'm telling you. Tim Ferriss is another great entrepreneur. He has a Tim Ferriss Show podcast. He interviews a lot of entrepreneurs. He's got a couple books that I've read. Definitely look him up. It's called the Tim Ferriss Show. That's a podcast. And then Eric Thomas, who was that person you saw earlier with the brand. Definitely look him up. He's an entrepreneur, public speaker, motivational speaker. All right. And then podcasts. You got the Gary Vee Show. You got the Dave Ramsey Show. You got the Tim Ferriss Show, all that good stuff. Start there. Don't get too overwhelmed with all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of good information out there. Really good. Start with probably like these 3, because these are going to hit home. Right? And then I got a couple books. As far as books, let's see. First one that I started off with when I started my business was called The E-Myth Revisited. If you want to write that down, great book. The E-Myth Revisited. E-Myth Revisited. By like Michael Gerber or something like that. It's going to help you out a lot. All right. Another one's called Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest. It's actually a Disney book, but it breaks down the nuances of how Disney World has everything set up in their park to make you buy something. How everything is strategically placed in the Magic Kingdom, in these parks. It's all strategy. From where their trash cans are to, you know, all these different signs that they have. It's planned out. There's another one called, there's another Starbucks. There's a book on Starbucks that I read too. It's like the Starbucks experience or something like that. But it basically tells you about Starbucks and how they've created their menu to make you, you know, to attract you to buy more. Believe me, this is all marketing stuff. You know, you got grande, venti, you know, whatever. This is all Starbucks jargon that they've created. Right? So those are some podcasts, some books. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So thank you very much. Any questions that I can answer for you guys? Yes, sir.
All right, so it's the end of conditioning.
Yeah.
Everyone's gassed.
Yep.
But you got one workout left. What is it?
I got one workout left. I'm putting you on the sleds, man. I'm
Oh,
putting you on the
man.
sleds. I love the sleds. I love doing sled work. Basketball players, specifically, what we love doing is we love to jump. All right, basketball players, what I get constantly from kids is like, Coach, I want to improve my vertical jump. You know, how do we do that? All right, well, we get them on this tool. It's called the Vertimax. Basically, it's like a bungee system. That's like a resisted bungee system. They hop on that thing. You know, you set the bungees to a specific weight. They jump with the weight, and then they get off of that thing. And literally, like, once you take the bungees off, it feels like you're like on a trampoline, like you're flying. And we do that for a couple sessions. Kids love it. You know, I mean, that's the first thing kids ask me really when we start training is like, Coach, you have a Vertimax? Like, they love this thing when it comes to training. They love it. Like, I don't even have to coach them, really. I can just put them on the Vertimax and tell them to just jump. You know, any other questions? Yes, sir.
So as an athlete, you're kind of born with a competitive spirit and
Yep.
you compete. How have you translated what you've learned as an athlete and that competitiveness into running your business?
Man. So it's basically that will, man. You gotta have that will, and it comes back to faith, I think. You know, that will to win, that faith, and that undeniable desire to, you know, when you have a loss or when things aren't going very well, you gotta believe and have that faith. And there's gonna be competition, right? You're gonna have businesses that pop up and they're gonna do the exact same thing as you, right? Maybe they steal your clients or maybe they do all this. But at the end of the day, you gotta know, like, hey, what I'm doing is working. And I still, like, I want competition. Like, you know, I want people to try and compete. Like, that's how I get better. I get better when you guys, when the competition starts coming up. When people start getting better, that's when I gotta up my game, right? So don't look at it as competition as like a bad thing. Look at it as like, all right, what are these guys doing? How do I learn from them? Don't try to compare yourself to them per se, but, you know, learn what they're doing, see what they're doing, and then stay within the company culture and what you're trying to build, and compete, man. Compete. You gotta compete. You gotta have faith, and you gotta, you know, have that will. Again, undeniable will. Anything else? All right, awesome. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I hope that